back with you again as we begin phase 3 of this, and that phase 3 is basically a finished parting this thing out and building it out. We've done, and I want to flash on the screen where we began with this particular design. We bought it, and we bought it from for a few bucks and stripped it down buck naked, and just there was nothing on this particular buy that you saw the design flash in front of you that I believed anyway worthy of saving. I know there's a lot of designs today that have handbrakes, that have these big old sprockets, that have 18 different gears, and they're ultra, and it isn't that I can't build those, because I can. The less parts you have, the more elegant the look, especially when you're trying to do your own thing and make it funky. More is just more. It doesn't mean that the bike may be, in their eyes, more functional. I try to keep it as clean as possible. One thing that I avoid at all costs, not saying that I'll always be able to, is, for example, handbrake. Handbrakes and the lines and all that stuff just clutters up the funk, and it's distracting is what it is. So when you're trying to build something that 8 billion other people on the planet don't have and can't get, is you want to keep that sucker as clean as possible so people can keep their eyes on the fashionable parts of what you're doing, as opposed to these components like handbrakes and derailleurs and all this other nonsense that goes on these designs. Nevertheless, we're at phase 3 now, and as you could see, I finally installed and cut out and patterned and customed the Fox wood. This is some wood seaming vinyl that's overlaid on top of sheet metal, is what it is. Really light sheet metal. When we're talking about these processes, as I told you before, you want any component you get and you add to this, you want to make it as light as possible, and you want to make it as clean as possible, right? I also put some chrome car trim here. As you can see, there's chrome car trim, and that actually ties in with the letters that we have on the tank, which this design I'm calling XE. The first one was LE, the second one was XLE, and this is just XE. Next one's going to be QI6. So, and this looks really super good, I think, and it's super duper clean. Is like what you do. You can't shop at Walmart. You can't just shop at bike stores for components, because when you do that, all those bike stores, they get their components basically from the same place. Ultimately, that stuff comes from China. I went all the way back to Alibaba, which is the main supplier of Walmart and all these other mega stores here in the United States. And it's basically China's version of Amazon. What you want to do is you want to source parts from as many different people as possible. I don't go at less than 13, 14, 15 suppliers per design, because I know that when I'm picking them, and a lot of times you have to figure out the customization process yourself. For instance, here, and I'm going to, on QI6 anyway, I'm actually going to upholster seats myself, because I look through thousands of seats, can't get what I want. So the point is, when you're looking car stores for cool things to add to your bike, again, sometimes more is just more. You want to add to the design with the cleanness and not take away by just adding a whole bunch of stuff. Another place that you could get hot stuff for this type of stuff is in places like Home Depot. As I told you, I use sheet metal underneath here, and that's something I got necessarily at Home Depot. Obviously the screws and the other things that I need to make it happen. Letters, obviously I had to get somewhere online. This chrome trim is going to go beautifully with the chrome fork that I'm gonna have here. Obviously the mustache chrome handlebars, and here's something beautiful that's going to freak you out. The saddle for this one, or the seat for this one, is going to tie into this color here, and the wood style Fox rims that I'm flashing in front of you right now. So when we get done with this Ultra, I just think it's going to be elegant. I'm not using 26s, regular like beach cruisers type rims and tires on this particular design. I'm stepping up with some 700C 35s to 38s, which is a thick tire. Most of you may know it on the old school 10 speeds. It's kind of like those, but not really, really thin. Rim is bigger. The tire is thinner. And here's something, as I sign off here, it's going to be super cool, because I found some reflective tape that mirrors this fluorescent style paint that I had to undercoat this with some white powder coat that's going to actually match, because I'm not using crappy old reflectors. We're going to do something super cool on the spokes of this with some reflective tape, and I'm just going to wrap 12 spokes per tire with some reflective tape to make it look like a fan, and it is going to be crazy. It's going to be beautiful. I already saw it in my mind. So we'll see you as I finish this design up.